slashers and you're a big fan of horror, you're not going to want to miss this one, a bloody good time in Totally Killer. What's up, YouTube? Zero here, and today I have a horror movie review of Totally Killer. In this video, I'll go over the synopsis, I'll talk about the main actress, I'll get into what I like and what I don't like, and what you may like and may not like about this film, and at the end of the video, I'll give my final rating and if you should check out Totally Killer. Without further ado, let's slash into the review. First, the synopsis. When the infamous Sweet 16 killer returns 35 years after his first murder spree to claim another victim, 17-year-old Jamie accidentally travels back in time to 1987, determined to stop the killer before he can start. So that's pretty straightforward. Jamie accidentally time travels and needs to stop the killer prior to all of the murders. So this is not only just what I would consider a classical slasher type movie, but it's also kind of a classic time travel movie. All of the tropes that come with time travel, oh, if you do this or you can't do this, it kind of flows with that. And they do explain that a little bit throughout the movie. I feel like almost every time travel movie has to explain what you can and can't do. If you're thinking of course, Back to the Future, they had certain rules they had to follow. Or Avengers, they had certain rules when they time traveled that they would have to follow. Same here, they have their rules, they explain their rules. So it's kind of straightforward when it comes to the time travel aspect. Slasher aspect, same deal. It's pretty straightforward and honestly what you would think of when you think of a slasher comes in this movie. You have the killing, you have Jamie going back in time, you see the killer a lot, kind of like you would in a Scream movie where you see Ghostface appear and you are wondering who the killer is, who the slasher is. Well, some people have said, and this is something you may not like, me personally, I don't think it's obvious. Some people did say that the killer was obvious to identify. I wouldn't say it's that obvious. Some people said it though. So if you're a good snoop, you may be able to determine who the killer is pretty easily. I don't think it's that easy though, so you'll have to give the movie a chance to determine that. So the main actress, let's talk about the main actress, because you may know her. It's Kiernan Shipka, and of course, she plays Sabrina in The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. If you enjoyed her acting in that, if you've seen that TV show on Netflix and you enjoyed her acting in that, you'll enjoy her acting in Totally Killer. She actually pretty much, to me, plays almost the same character without the spell. So of course in Sabrina, she's a witch, but in this, she's just a normal human, but she brings a lot of the character from that to this. She has her quips and her tropes and what she normally does. She doesn't really change a persona for this role. And that's not a bad thing. She is a very great actress. I've enjoyed watching a lot of her media, and this was a great acting performance out of Kiernan. Now, I wouldn't say she'd win any awards for it, but it was great. There was also a lot of, okay, she was a 2023 human. She went back to 1987, and a lot of stuff we say all the time. Oh yeah, you can't say this like you used to, or you can't do this like you used to. Well, she constantly brings that up and is fighting with the people of 1987 as to what you can say and what you can't say, etc. But it is funny when she does that, and it does bring a little bit more lightheartedness when she does that, so I did really enjoy that. Now, on top of that, what do you want from a slasher? You want slashing, you want killing, and you get a lot of that. Again, Scream is something that I was thinking about as I was watching this movie, because you get Ghostface from Scream, you get this mass Sweet 16 killer here, and you have this killer show up and try and slash, and that's what you want. You want to see the blood, you want to see what's going on, and I really enjoyed that aspect of it as well. Being a huge slasher fan, that was phenomenal and a great part of this movie. So let's talk about what I liked and what I didn't like, because I don't want this review to go on very long. One, the acting. Kiernan Shipka and the supporting cast were absolutely great. Again, if you saw Chilling Adventures of Sabrina and you liked her in that, you're gonna like her in this. Second, the slashing. The killing and the slashing when the killer shows up was great, although was somewhat predictable. So there was that. If you are somebody who can predict, or you've seen a lot of slashers, this follows just the classic slasher trope. You know when the slasher is going to show up. You know when he or she is going to strike. You know when the story is going to progress to try and throw you off the scent of who the killer is. They're going to try to put you in one direction, and then it's not that direction. This is just a classical slasher like that. They walk through everything along those lines. On top of that, it's pretty much along the same lines of a time travel movie as well. You get your time travel, you get your, oh, you can't do this, you can do this, etc., etc. So you kind of have that as well. You're on a time crunch, you have to get done by a certain time, etc. So overall, it was a fun movie. It was a great slasher movie. What I liked and what you might like is it's nice slashing. You get a decent amount of kills, you get a lot of slashing, you get a lot of chase scenes, which is great. The acting is also great. What you may not like is of course, always up to opinion. I didn't mind them. I'll tell that you right now. I didn't mind them, but some people may not like this. One, it could be a little predictable. If you've seen slashers before, it does get a little predictable in that sense. You know when the slasher is going to show up. You kind of know when they're going to try and throw you for a curveball, and you're not going to be fooled by it because you've seen slashers before. And from what I've heard, some people were easily able to predict the killer. I don't think it was that easy, but some people were easily able to predict the killer. But overall, I really enjoyed this movie. I recommend checking it out if you have Amazon Prime. It is a great slasher movie, and it's gonna go down in the history books as a very fun slasher movie, one that you should definitely check out. I give this movie a 7 out of 10. But let me know in the comment section if you're gonna check it out. If you have, let me know what you rate it. Until next time, peace.